All right, in 15 minutes, you guys are going to be fine with this. Just kidding. That's a shout out to Augie Garrido. And the reason I'm giving a shout out to CJ and Daniel's grandfather is because this thing that you guys have built would never have been born had it been for Augie Garrido. Because if we hadn't met Augie, we wouldn't have met Kevin. And if we hadn't met Mr. Costner, we would have never met the Lakota people. And if we hadn't met them, we wouldn't have met Rod and Marcy, and we wouldn't have met Ray Jacoby, too bad about USC. We wouldn't have met Steve and Kathy Kuhn. I'm going to spend most of my time talking to you guys. You guys are my athletes. I've spent more time with some of you than you've spent with your own dads. And that's not because your dads are not doing their job, it's because they are working really, really hard and they can't always be there. But if you count we workout, I've been coaching you guys in something since you were in diapers. And I've learned a lot more than you've learned from me. But a lot of you guys are here for different reasons. Those guys over there are here with their guitars, and some of you guys are here because you want a letter of recommendation for school, and some of you are here because you need the money. Some of you are here because you believe in stuff like this. All of you are local. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. All of you are friends with the Boyd family and Morro Bay High Athletics. You wouldn't be here if you won't. About 3 years ago, August 28th, 2014, Lefty and Fofo will remember that day because that was the day that Hurricane Marie arrived and Laird Hamilton shot the pier at Malibu. We had this idea. How are we going to put you guys to work addressing a national emergency? And that national emergency is that we are losing 2 or 3 family-owned farms and ranches every single year, and that's in this county alone. Some of you guys are here because your dad said there's no freaking way somebody who's 14 can start a business. Go home and tell him he's wrong because you did that. This thing is real, you did it. Some of you are here because you don't like being told what you can't do. How many times have we sat in the dugout and you've tried to hit or pitch and you've heard some dad back there going, you can do it, come on guy, kids know what they can do. You guys are here because you paid attention when people told you what you couldn't do. Some of you said you can't start a business. Some of your dads said, at 15, you're not going to get paid to play that guitar. Some of them said, you don't have what it takes to get a job on a cattle ranch. All of you guys are here because you beg to differ. I'm here to tell you that there's nothing, you guys can't save family farms and ranches in this county. In 20 years, they're going to be gone. 20 years ago, I used to drive to Avila Beach, and you would never, ever see traffic. And now I take you guys to softball tournaments, or soccer tournaments, or baseball tournaments in Nipomo. And on a Friday afternoon, when we get past Avila, it's traffic. It's like Santa Barbara. And the people in Santa Barbara are saying, this is just like LA. Guess what? If when I was your age, I had stepped up and somebody had done something, that traffic wouldn't be there. Today, we would have widened the roads or not grown so much. Anyway, so maybe we can't save a whole region, but we can save one. Not one of you guys asked, how much am I going to get paid? Not one of you. Well, we don't want you to come back if you don't get paid. Everybody's got something that they don't know, they won't do, they can't do. Some of you are convinced that you can't sing. I'll tell you what, that's your right. Singing forbidden. Don't you dare open your mouth. I'll tell you what I can't do. The reason why Dr. Choi is filming this today is because I learned doing this whole thing with you guys that I can't talk to strangers. I am terrible about it. When I say, I'm Tony Boyd and I'm a lawyer from San Luis Obispo and I'm here to make money for you, forget it. The only strangers I've ever met in this thing was the day I sat down with our hosts today at this ranch, the Brantley family. And I did that because Ian found Daniel. So anyhow, you guys want to go to work on a cattle ranch, and I think you found a way to do it. 3 years ago, we talked about, well, maybe we can do a hayride on one of these ranches, or maybe we can do a tour. And then one of you came forward and said, Coach, why don't we just do the crab feed? We know how to do that. I'd like to salute the Tognazini family. I mentioned the Lakota a minute ago. The organization that these young people have built comes in peace to the Chumash Nation and the Salinan. As far as these young men and women are concerned, we're here with your permission. We're sorry about what happened with the Spaniards. Most of our families weren't here yet. We've got some Quintanas and we've got some Ortegas, and they are painted on the side of Valley Liquor. They were here in 1769 with Portola. The Ortegas and the Quintanas were famous for sticking up for the Chumash. And when other people were trying to butcher them, they stood forward. But anyway, shout out to the Chumash Nation. You are welcome by our campfires anytime. Just like our forefathers did. We would be honored to trade stories with you. We'd be honored to feed you. We'd be honored to trade songs with you. Come and see us. Shout out to Cal Poly. This thing would never have been born without Los Osos Little League's very own Dr. Bill Hendricks and Dr. Jerusha and Brian Greenwood and the Recreation and Parks and Tourism Administration. Somebody make a memo that when Emma and Alyssa make it to Cal Poly, we need some rodeo guys. We need guys with skills because you guys are going to go to work on a ranch. I told you guys a couple years ago that you did not have what it took to do that. I said, you don't have any skills, you work in a restaurant, and you're too busy on your own ranch, and you're too busy with FFA, and you're too busy working construction, but you guys since that time have gone out and you've gotten skills. Some of you work on farms and ranches, some of you are killing it at the fair with FFA, some of you have gotten jobs at construction, so if there's a rancher we're partnering with who needs a barn painted, we'll stop cooking and we'll go over and we'll paint his barn. This organization that these young people have built salutes and thanks Cuesta College. Cuesta College gave us Wyatt over there. He was born and raised in a cattle ranch. He knows how to cook. And you baseball players and softball players are here to take the food preparation clinic. But let's not make any mistake about it. Let's talk about who the most important people on this ranch are. You guys are ball players. Those guys over there with the guitars, that's the bullpen. Every one of those people could throw a 125-mile-an-hour fastball in their backyard. And if we can just get them comfortable doing it on their own with us as a team on a cattle ranch, then this thing can be replicated as many times as we want. We're going to have this thing in 8 short days. We're going to Centrally Grown, not wearing any socks, Waterman. And we're going to Centrally Grown, and we're going to have a ranch dinner. And when we do, lots and lots of important people are going to be there. People with last names like Fiscalini, Tartaglia, Negranti, Bassi. Every one of those families is watching what you're doing right now. And if the tides favor us, after Saturday, September 2nd at 5 o'clock, we're going to, somebody's going to call and they're going to want another one. Some real estate brokers in Cambria. They own these hats, some of them. They are cattle ranchers. They are aware of the emergency that you guys are stepping up to meet, and they are pulling for you. Now, I don't know anything. My dad was raised on a cattle ranch. I've worked on a lot of these ranches when I was your age, because Boyd Construction specialized in sinking utility lines. My dad taught me, when you report to work on a ranch, it's not a hard hat. You got to report to work in a way that's respectful of the people that we're working for. Every one of you guys has the right to wear this hat because you are here to help, and that's what our ultimate goal is, to graduate out of restaurants and get ourselves a job, not for the Hearsts, not for somebody big and fancy and rich, not for a multinational corporation, but there is a mom and pop cattle ranch out there that needs your help, and they are going to find us if we do a great job today. And then we do a great job on the 2nd. So, that's the bullpen. Do everything you possibly can to make those people feel as empowered and appreciated and comfortable. Because the truth is, 2 years ago, I met with Louis Ortega, Grammy Award winner, look him up. His daughter Talia and her professor Inga Swearingen, they've all promised to help. The Ortegas are on tour right now, otherwise they'd be here at this place this very minute. All the pieces are in place. You guys did it. You guys are going to complete the food preparation safety clinic today. When Wyatt knows what he's doing, he was raised on a cattle ranch, and he knows how to run a catering company, so listen good. I think one of our first fundraisers should be at the Atascadero Zoo. One of the things that's fun about you guys having built a nonprofit is that you can partner with other nonprofits. We are a revenue-generating nonprofit. Your lawyers are the same people that represent Chuck Liddell. Ogden and Fricks in San Luis Obispo, just like me, they represent a lot of farms and ranches. And just so happens that one of them is a martial artist and they represent Chuck Liddell. They're pulling for you. We've got all kinds of people. We're going to need eventually, we're going to have to drill something in case some tourist gets drunk and we got to get them off the property in a hurry. Somebody's going to go have to take a little bit of martial arts because we need to know how do we isolate that person and get them out of there in a safe manner. Somebody get the beach imps on the phone. I need some wrestlers. Let me call a few people out. We would like to salute and thank the faculty at Morro Bay High School and Coast Union. If it wasn't for them, you guys wouldn't be here. They got no budget. There's no budget for singing. FFA got no money. And if it wasn't for families like the Waddells and the Molnars and all the other people whose unselfish leadership have kept ag alive in this area, you guys wouldn't be in a position to do what you're doing now. So, we've got to get the bullpen ready. If we can get those pitchers going, those people with the guitars, we can do this as often as you guys want. If we get through Saturday and it doesn't work, or if you don't, it doesn't, we'll know it didn't work if either A, we don't fill the seats. We need 50 people to come. That's where the video comes in. I ain't talking to strangers. I'm tired. I have got to get back to practicing law. If anybody should sue me, it's CJ and Dania, because I have committed financial malpractice. When you get home, don't tell me the answer, but take out a calculator and add up 20 hours a week times $250 an hour times 3 years. Something close to $1 million, and none of the Boyds had $1 million when this thing started. But not once did they complain, not once did any of you guys talk about how much am I going to get paid. None of that. You're here because for all the right reasons. The odds are against us. We've had that many times in the dugout, many times on different athletic fields together. And if you had the worst baseball coach in the world and you hit a ground ball and he said, don't run, it's probably going to be an out. You guys are the ones that would run anyway. Because you know that even if the odds are completely against you reaching base, you got to go for it. You got to try.